Hello children, today we are going to see about velocity time graph. When we are finding out the velocity, we'll be finding the velocity with the help of displacement time graph, right? So in displacement time graph we had discussed that in a displacement time graph, okay, if the straight line, it's a straight line, okay, if the slope is a straight line parallel to the time axis, we said object is stationary. Secondly, we said if the displacement time graph is a straight line inclined to the time axis, we said that the motion will be in a uniform velocity. And if the displacement time graph is a curve, okay, if it's a curve, then we said that the object is in the form of non-uniform velocity. Now velocity time graph, now what is this actually velocity time graph? When we are talking about velocity time graph, in that time will be on the x-axis, velocity will be on the y-axis. Velocity will be positive, okay, velocity will be positive if the body is moving away, it's moving away from the initial position, okay, the same way as the displacement was there. And if the body is moving towards the initial position, velocity will be negative. Velocity time graph will be giving us two things in general. It will be giving us the displacement of the body as well as the acceleration. Velocity time graph determines the displacement as well as it determines the acceleration. So first step we will be seeing how it helps us to determine the displacement of a body. So velocity time graph will be giving us the displacement as well as the acceleration. Velocity being a vector quantity, it will give us positive and negative velocities, which we already discussed. When can the positive velocity be positive and when it can be negative. Now here we are going to find out the determination of the displacement from the velocity time graph. So here the formula, okay, the formula for displacement is velocity multiplied with time. It's velocity into time. So displacement we will be getting displacement by adding all the areas with the sign. Now here if you see, this is a velocity time graph of a body in motion. So here if you see, in some way the body is having a positive displacement, somewhere negative. That means somewhere it is moving away from the initial position, somewhere it is coming towards the initial position, okay, again it is moving away towards. So we can see there is positive and there is negative aspect, positive displacement and negative displacement. And then we are going to mark it with the help of certain figures over here, like a triangle or a trapezium, right? So here we are going to make some figures out of it. So here if you see, first initially at the body was at position A, then it moved towards like the velocity was 5 meter per second in 3 seconds. Then again the velocity was negative, that means it came towards the position, so it was -5. Again it was constant here. Afterwards it rose towards, it went again to away from the initial position. So say it will be somewhere over here, again positive. So if you see the graph, in this graph the distance traveled away from the starting point will be that will be below the time axis. Okay, see, sorry, the area enclosed by the time axis represents positive displacement, that is distance traveled away from the starting point, while the area enclosed below the time axis, so above the time axis will be positive, below the time axis will be negative. Above positive, below negative. Then displacement can be found by adding all these areas with their signs. So if this is a trapezium, so if I find the area of this trapezium, it will give me a negative value, but this triangle and this trapezium will give me the positive value. But when we are talking about distance, distance will be found without without the sign we can get the distance of it. Why? Because we say distance is scalar quantity, so no positive sign or no negative sign. But for the displacement we are going to put the signs. So area above time axis positive, area below time axis negative. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear. Now this is an example. We have the velocity time graph over here. So here I have just drawn in my book, so we will just see that first. Now first if you see here, area of triangle ABC, it is given page number 39, you can see over here. So here area of triangle ABC is half into base into height. So see here, which is the triangle ABC, triangle ABC. This is the figure, the same figure which is there, figure 2.12. So ABC, if you see, it's a triangle here. You can see that it is a triangle here, triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC we will be using the formula half into base into height, right? So here half into base into height. So here AB is 5 which is the height, and BC is 4 which is the base. So here we can see AB is the height, and here we can see AB will be the height of the particular sorry, I mean this particular thing, BC, sorry, BC will be the height and AC will be the base. So this is the height, this is the base. Okay, so what is the base? The base is 4. So this is the base which is 4, this is the height which is 5. So half into base into height, which is half into 4 into 5, half into base into height, so half into 4 into 5, which will be giving me the answer as 10 meters. Now here we are not going to specify square over here. Since it's area, we are not going to specify square, because this is nothing but this is the height and the base, but they are nothing but what? They are the velocity and the time. So these are different units, that's why we cannot write it in the terms of square units. Okay, we can't write it in the terms of square units, just we will be specifying 10 meter, which is the displacement. We are finding the displacement here. Okay, then let us take another, now here this I took it as positive because it is above the time axis. Now here this is a trapezium CDEF, this is a trapezium over here. Now in this trapezium, what is the formula for trapezium? Half into sum of parallel sides into height. Okay, so this is the formula for it. Now what are the parallel sides over here? You can see the parallel side, so we can take this as the parallel side, so it will be 1 2 3 4 5. Are you understanding? 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the parallels, one parallel side, the other parallel side, which will be how much? 1 2 3. Understanding? 1 2 3. So this is 1 2 3 4 5, this is 1 2 3. So sum of parallel sides into height, height will be how much? 5, right? Height will be 5. So we get half into 5 plus 3, which is 8, into 5, which is 20 meters. Same thing I am writing it over here, half area of trapezium CDEF. CDEF. Now you take the another trapezium, which is FGHI. Okay, this trapezium FGHI. Now in FGHI also same thing, you will take half into sum of parallel sides into height. So here the parallel sides will be 4 and 2. Okay, the parallel sides will be 4 and 2. So here you can see from here 9, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so it is ending up to here. So 1 2 3 4. Okay, that is the parallel sides, and 4 plus 2, that will be the parallel sides of it. Okay, so here 4 into 2, 4 plus 2 multiply with 5 meter per second, so which gives me 4 plus 2 is nothing but 6. So the answer comes as 15 meters. Okay, so the answer comes as 15 meters. I hope it is clear. Like, okay, 1 2 3 4, and this will be only 2. So this is 2, this is 4, sum of parallel sides into height 5. So we get the answer as 15. Now we are going to add these all the triangle and the trapeziums. Now how will we add? Okay, value of this triangle, how much did we get? 10 meters. Okay, here now this is below the time axis, means what? Negative. So what is the value of this we got? It's 20. So we'll be writing it as minus 20. This again positive, so we'll be writing it as 15. So what is my answer? 5 meters. So what is my displacement from this graph? 5 meters. 5 meter is a displacement. But what is the total distance? Which will be 10 plus 20 plus 15. We have to just ignore the signs. Okay, we are not using the sign. So which is 45 meters, which is 45 meter will be the distance, but displacement will be 5 when we are considering the positive and negative aspect. So velocity time graph is helping us to find out what? It is helping us to determine the displacement. It is helping us to determine the displacement. I hope this is very clear with everyone what it is actually, right? I hope it's clear. Now let us proceed further. Further, it is given as it is used for determining the acceleration of the body. Now how to determine the acceleration? What is the formula for acceleration? It is nothing but change in velocity upon time. So we can find out the slope of it. So first we are just going to find out the slope of AB. Okay, now just to see the slope of AB over here. Here also I have mentioned here, if you see slope of AB. Okay, slope of A and B. Now slope of AB, if you see here, I'll just draw it somewhere else. For example, okay, this is the diagram. Here I will just draw B, and here I will draw A. Now slope of, we are supposed to find out the slope of AB. Now here this is kind of a slope which I made. Okay, this is 3, this is 0, and this is 5. Okay, so what will be my x2 here, x1 here? This is my x1, this is my x2. Similarly, on the y-axis, this is my y1, this is my y2. So now you just analyze it. Y2 minus y1, which is 5 minus 0. x2 minus x1, which is 3 minus 0, 5 upon 3, which is 1.67 meter second square. So I hope this is clear. Now we found of AB. Okay, similarly we have to find the slope of B and D. Okay, so let us see how to find out the slope of B and D. So here I'll just draw it. Suppose this is B and D, this is the line BD. So here B corresponds to 5, here it's 0. Okay, here it is minus 5, and in between over here we get the value as 4 over here. So when we are finding out BD, how we will find? So this is the complete line of BD. So here this is x-axis, so this is y-axis, so this will be y2, this will be y1. Okay, then what will be x2 and x1? So here x2 which is there, okay, x2 will be 5, we are going to consider 5 over here, and x1 will be 3. Okay, x1 will be 3. Okay, so how did we get this? Just by drawing the perpendiculars from here. So x2 and x1. So what will be the slope here? We can say, so here y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which is nothing but minus 5 plus 5. Okay, minus 5 of minus 5 upon x2 minus x1, which is 5 minus 3. So we get the answer as minus 5 meter per second square is the acceleration. Okay, how did we get this? Minus of minus 5, minus of minus 5 will be minus 10, minus 10 upon 2, which is minus 5. So this gives us the answer, that is for slope BD. Okay, minus 5 of minus 5, which is giving us the answer like that. Now next point, this giving us that is the answer is minus 5. Now we are going to find out the slope of part DE. So AB we got, which is 1.67, this we got as minus 5. Now what will be this? This will be constant velocity, which will be 0, because there this at this position we can say that the velocity is constant for every time interval, so it will be 0. So velocity will be 0 over here. So I mean the slope will be 0, sorry, the slope over here will be 0, that is the motion is with constant velocity here. Then again you are going to find out the slope of this, which will be something called as, which will be positive here. Then the slope of this will be again 0. Why? Because the velocity is uniform here, and here again you are going to get a negative acceleration. So once again we'll analyze positive acceleration, negative acceleration, 0, that is constant velocity, positive acceleration, 0, constant velocity, negative acceleration. In this way you can determine the acceleration of the with the help of velocity time graph. I hope these all things are clear with you. If the slope is positive, then it is accelerated motion, and if it is negative, it is retarded or decelerated motion. I hope this is clear with everyone. And if it is constant, we can, if it is 0, then we can say that the body is moving with a constant velocity. Now here we are going to consider the first case of the velocity time graph. In the first case, they are saying that if the body is in motion with a uniform velocity, that is its velocity is constant with time. Okay, if a body is in motion with the constant velocity, then the graph which we get over here, the graph which is obtained over here is a straight line parallel to the time axis. So let us see how it is. In this figure, you can say that a straight line AB is given. Okay, here the AB. So what is the case 1 over here? That is if the body, okay, if the body is in the moving with a uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means what? That is the velocity remains constant with time. So we will be getting the straight line which is parallel to the time axis. So here you can see 2.13 example. There's a straight line AB which represents the velocity time graph of a moving with a uniform velocity of 4 meter per second for 5 seconds. So you can say 4 meter per second. Okay, the velocity here is 4. At every instant it is at 444. Uniform velocity, okay, in equal intervals of time. Okay, that is the constant velocity is remaining constant with time. Time is changing but the velocity is constant. So here what will be the acceleration? The slope of the straight line will be 0 and therefore the acceleration is 0. That means no acceleration, that is there is no change in the velocity, right? What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity, right? So here there is no change in the velocity, okay, it's constant. Why? How constant? It's given by a straight line, so this acceleration will be 0. So the displacement in 5 seconds. Now we are finding the displacement. So what will be the displacement? That's the area of rectangle, which is length into breadth. So what is this? OC, okay, OC into OA. OC is 5, OA is 4, so 20 meter is the displacement. So I hope you understood. That is, this body, okay, this body is traveling with a constant velocity, okay, it's having a uniform velocity with time, okay, even though the time is increasing, the velocity is uniform, constant. That's why we got a straight line over here, okay. And acceleration for this will be 0. Why the acceleration will be 0 here? Because there is no change in the velocity with time, okay. I hope this is clear now. Then let us go to the case number 2. In case number 2, they are saying that if the body is in motion with uniform acceleration. What is uniform acceleration? Equal changes in velocity takes place in equal intervals of time. So time also equal, with equal timing, velocity equal. So the body, if it is traveling in uniform acceleration, velocity time graph is a straight line. It's a straight line inclined to the time axis, and the slope of the line will give me the acceleration. If I find out the slope, it gives me the acceleration. So what is this? We say that if the body is in the uniform motion, uniform acceleration means what? Equal velocities in equal time. That time the slope of the line will give me the acceleration. So let us see how we can do this. So here time 0, velocity 0, 1, 10, 2, 20. So can you see equal 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3. Equal velocities in equal interval of time. So here this is an increasing, so it will be a straight line inclined to the time axis. Now we are going to find out the slope of this graph. Okay, so first let us find out the distance traveled by the body in 8 seconds. So how are we going to find out the distance? We are going to find it out with the help of the figure, which is half into base into height. So this will be the displacement. Okay, here we will be finding the displacement. Here they have written as distance, but we will be finding the displacement. So what is the displacement? Area of this triangle. So here what will be the base? OQ will be the base, height will be 80. 8 seconds, 80. So half into base into height, that is half into OQ into OP. OQ is what? The base. OP is what? The height. OQ base, PQ height. So OQ into PQ, which is 8 into 80, that gives me 320 meter. Now how to find out the acceleration? So you simply find out the slope of this graph. So here they have just made the straight line and this is the slope of it. So how are we going to find out the slope? Same way, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Why I am making you to do it with y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1? So that it will be very easy for your understanding. So y2 here P, which is 80, okay, y1 0, x2 8, x1 0. So here you can see 80 minus 0 upon 8 minus 0, which is 10 meter per second square. So here the acceleration will be 10 meter per second square. Okay, so here the slope of the line has given me the acceleration. So here you can say if the motion is with the uniform retardation, uniform retardation means negativity. That is, the velocity is decreasing with equal amount of time, then the velocity time graph will be a straight line inclined to the time axis, but it will be having a negative slope. So what here we are discussing? Here we said acceleration is positive. Why acceleration is positive? Why? Because the graph is in a straight line, right? The velocity which is there, okay, that is also increasing in equal intervals of time. So we have constant uniform velocity, we can say uniform velocity, equal velocities in equal intervals of time. So acceleration positive, but here it can be negative also. So how it can be negative? If there is a uniform retardation, that is the velocity is decreasing with equal intervals of time, then that time we can say velocity is decreasing. Okay, velocity is decreasing with equal intervals of time, that time we can say acceleration will be negative, so slope will be negative. So one example we have with it. So here you can see that the straight line AB which is there, it is representing the velocity time graph for a body moving with 40 meter per second, and it comes to stop at 4 seconds. So here you can see that initially only it is moving with 40 meter per second, and then it comes and stops over here. So distance traveled, we will find out the distance over here. Okay, distance traveled in 4 seconds we will see. So we will be getting it as half into OB into OA. So we are just finding the distance here. So how much is it? Half into OB into OA. So which is half into OB into OA. OB is 4 seconds. OA, that is the height, base height. So which is 80. Now retardation will be writing it as negative of the slope of line AB. Why negative? Because slope is negative. So here we will be saying that now here the y2 will be over here and y1 will be here. So 0 minus 40, okay, and x2 will be here because we are starting from 4 and then it is coming to rest. So x2 here and x1 0. 4 minus 0. So minus of 40 upon 4. Minus 40 upon 4, we are taking minus as plus. So 40 upon 4, which is giving me 10 meter per second square. As I told you previously, retardation we are not giving the negative sign. Retardation itself is considered as negative, so we no need to give the sign. So here minus of that sign becomes plus. So we can say on velocity time graph, larger the slope, higher will be the acceleration or retardation. I hope this is clear. Okay, why we have written here distance? We are just finding out the distance here. If we were finding out the displacement, then the negative aspects would come. So here also the same situation, we are just finding the distance here. So I hope retardation minus slope of line AB, here as I told you that the coordinates will be different. This will be my y2 coordinate and this will be my y1 coordinate. Here it is moving at 4 meter per, comes to stop at 4 seconds. So here we will say that if it is coming to stop at 4 seconds, x2 will be here and x1 will be here. Okay, it is coming and stopping at 4 seconds. So it will come to rest at 0. Okay, just see here, starting, it comes to stop at 4 seconds coming from a particular direction. Okay, so here we will take this as it has stopped over here. I hope these all the things are very clear with you. They are little complex. You read it once, and if you have any clarifications, any doubts, you can just message me. Okay. Now next part, from these conclusions we can say velocity time graph can never be a straight line parallel to velocity axis. If you remember, for the displacement time graph also same statement was there. Displacement time graph can never be negative, right? So the same is given for this. It can never be negative. Okay, sorry, not negative, it can never be parallel to the axis, when a velocity axis, because in such a case it can increase without any increase in time. And then this part, if a body is initially moving with constant velocity and accelerates, we will be doing it in the next half. So D as well as the D part as well as the case 3 part, we will be seeing it in the next session. So what all we have done, I'll just take you a quick revision. We said that with the velocity time graph, we can determine the displacement as well as we can determine the acceleration. Then we also discussed the few cases, that is, if we say that a body is in motion with a uniform velocity, then its slope will be a straight line. And if the second part we said, if the body is moving with a uniform acceleration, the slope will be a straight line inclined to the time axis, and this will be giving me the acceleration. The slope of the line will be giving me the acceleration. And we said that the velocity time graph, if larger the slope, higher is the acceleration, and velocity time graph can be can never be a straight line which is parallel to the velocity axis. Okay, so I hope all these things are very clear with you. The other part we will be explaining it the next time. Thank you children, and take care of yourself.